Stop game.
What the deal?
Dice lover.
$500,000.
Yo.
Moves must be made.
New York City.
$500,000.
Yeah.
Freestyle.
Jungle love, project niggas rumble and bubble drugs. Mad blow, calico, empty the 100 slugs. Bystanders running duck, hustlers be pumping drunk. We used to go to free lunch, now we sling blow and P-funk. My man let off a punk that made a D-jump, cause he want info on how much weight we bump. Around the way, niggas hold AKs in tree trunks. Dime nickels and trays, niggas get blazed laid up for 3 months. And I see you, cause you thought I ain't see you pushing the land. 20 of your mans in caravans linked up. I ain't about beef, I put detonators under Brinks trucks. Fuck ducking the feds, now the word said. Master Masons try to plant verbs in my earth's head. Shot up a coke house in North Carolina with dreads. Selassie I youth, guided by truth. The team fled 1,400 miles back to New York and cream spread. Independently, I guzzle gallons of Hennessy. Run with one of mans, smuggle grams, Dallas and Tennessee. Master energy, gunshots kid, leave your subconscious obnoxious. Snatch your ice, let my son rock this. Never had the key to success, but unlocked it. I hold a hot brick and won't drop it. Project niggas hotter than the tropics. Jake's trying to find where we hot shit. Police vans and pirate ships, but we scientists. Blow your boat out of the water, new world order. Projects is pyramids, truth is square recorded.
Ha, ha, ha. Dice lover, check me out. Yo, I don't know what to do. Old timers tell me crime no pay. That shit is crazy. I'm pumping dimes and started with trays. Them was the good old days. Selling off lovely. Slinging, getting paid. Never shook or afraid from the home of the brave. Where po-po moves sneaky young hoes. Dress freaky niggas rob from the weekly hustlers. Move discreetly. Bad cats try to beat me. Plotting scheme to defeat me. It's all plans that fail, so they pay me cash weekly. Custom whips with TVs. Bulletproof just in case some jealous niggas rush my ride to put slugs in my face. Bet I get away. Get my crew, come back another day. Rent some cars, parking late. When I see you, I spray. Strictly chess moves, keep the plan tight like architects. Ash from all aspects, stop my flow, get wet. Cuban connect down in Tibet, making $500,000 bets. Hitting my peeps off with coke to bring the cash back correct. Down on Prospect where niggas rock AVs with texts and get respect. And ain't scared to lay it to rest.
Life's a bitch, so I became a pimp. Bitch niggas eat catered shrimp. Rock gators with a limp while you can't even pay your rent. My days are spent obtaining mitts by standing on pavements. Serving fiends with that gray shit. Every day hit, my son is hot. Lost a knot, knocked off a number spot. Maria had a Glock in her crotch. He slapped the bitch, took the drop. Shorty's wild, even hooked off on pops. Now he's locked, snitches on the block, call the cops. 2G bail, moms can't pay it, that's all she got. Call $500,000, you be out in a minute, babe pop. That's the way we rock, inside of the beast. Young blood is what Leviathans feast. Temptation, condemnation, violence increase. Project MCs with thug and college degrees. My knowledge outseas, cocaine and alkies. Niggas that surround me got bounties in other counties. 24 ounces of raw on the floor under car seats. Pieces to greeting, but our meetings involve heat. Mafiosos leak from the cheek. Scarface, looking God face. 20 brick heist led to a car chase. When you out of town, New York seems like a far pace. Walking through hell with gasoline drawers. Been in the pens and mad Supreme Court. The price of sin had no reward.
Fuck it, I'd rather chill, but my life is a hoax. I yap a chain from my throat, I'ma get a big A for coke. Mastermind a plan, take trips to other lands. Enterprise with my man, war moves in caravans. Move cautious cause spectacular, we shifty to gag sacky. Mostly colored hair nappy. Oh, how Uncle Sam's happy. They try to trap me, no hard evidence. The drug tactics don't make sense. Oh, fuck the president. He lets a chick push the buttons, always talking and bluffing and ain't giving us nothing. So I proceed to strive, emotional war with my pride. All my pain I keep inside, analyzed through eyes. In the crack game, simple and plain cats get slain over cocaine. Enough thugs' blood had to drain. Over the next man's mistakes I elevate, calculate, stay away from graveyards. Fuck doing a bit of state.
That's to the hustler haters, players lick shots, sprinting in gators. Living the greatest, splitting up wages, contagious, ill life. Real trife, built right, lost $1 million dice and I'm still in ice. So colder than winter nights, freeze your inner sight. Like when fiends put white hype in the pipe. Me with a mic is stronger than the Christians' belief in Christ. Illegal life, my Hebrew life is killed by evil life. It's hard for me to sleep through nights. Truth, I speak through mics, rhymes I write. Shine like twilights in every zones, heavy stones. Every poem I blow 'em, toss 'em and turn 'em. Burn 'em in the furnace, I'ma throw 'em. For those who never learn this, I'ma show 'em how to flow like agua. I blow, Papo, you're my Dado. $500,000, Originado, Slick Movado, Imperado. Wherever I go, Lablo, spots from New York to Chicago. I'm Hado, still keep my eyes open wide, yo.
Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody that's pulling up. You are now rocking with the best. Big Dice on the Back Block Chronicles. If you are not subscribed to this channel, we're going to pop this channel too. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Whoever in the back, come on out and say hello. It ain't nothing but love. It's still love. It's still love. Yes, I still have this channel. Yes, I still have the Big Dice Chronicles. But they, you know what? They gave me a goddamn strike today. But it's all right. First time I ever got that strike, and I appealed it, and I accepted response before the end of the night, probably in a couple of hours. They gave me a strike for playing my video. So, you know, they can't strike me for that. So, but what it was it said that it was a strike, but it wasn't a strike that was going to affect your video. They were saying you can't monetize that video because in the video I had, I showed when Egypt had that edible, and I played that on the Big Dice Chronicles. So when they heard the music, I get high, I get high, I get high of your memory. So they put it under review. It didn't affect the channel, nothing like that, but they gave me a strike for that. But I appealed it, and I'll be waiting for that answer in about maybe an hour or two, maybe the first thing in the morning to have, and I will post it on my community board, so we'll be all right. But besides that, on another note, we doing a great one tonight. How y'all doing? Whoever in the building, let me know y'all in the building. Ron Boogs, I see. Shout out to Behind the Bar. Shout out to Behind the Bar. Great show he just did. Shout out to Behind the Bar. Shout out to Chase Milano, man. Chase Millie run the city. You dig what I'm saying? Big Dice stamped that shit. You heard me? Great show just now on Behind the Bar. You know, I really don't give a fuck about none of that shit because, like I said, it ain't got nothing to do with me. But I knew it was more to that story that I wanted to hear. Just out of curiosity, not giving a fuck about it, but I wanted to hear about the story because, like, something that some people say, certain things you may be judged for or certain things may appear to be a certain way, but it's not. But on that particular case, he told some truths. I'm talking about Dr. George, respectfully. He told some truths, but he was hesitant to answer certain questions. And because of his body language and the looking around and the hollering and nah, I ain't gonna talk about that. That kind of destroyed the whole credibility. You know what I'm saying? See, if you really gonna do something and you really gonna conquer something or you really gonna stand forth and hold 10 toes down, you got to be prepared to stand up and take whatever scrutiny and whatever type of motherfucking blows come. You already know that shit, Ron. I've been through the worst of the worst, but I stood victorious. Damn. We got 4 people in the building. There should be more people in that. But, you know, a lot of people not subscribed to this channel, and they won't let me post. They will not let me post Back Block Chronicles information on the Big Dice Chronicles page information. So, what I said I was going to start doing. Excuse me. What I said I was going to start doing. I'm gonna start uploading shorts on the Back Block Chronicles to help pop this channel, to help this plan. I'm trying to get this channel monetized in 90 days. 90 days from the day I'm trying to make sure this shit got 1,000 subscribers. I'm at 71, 72 right now. You know what I mean? I want this monetized in 90 days. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I want it monetized in a week if we can do it. I already got quote unquote. I just noticed I got 1,223 subscribers on the Back Block Chronicles. I got 116 subscribers in 7 days. Shout out to all the people that's been coming and hitting that subscribe button. I appreciate that. Make sure y'all subscribe to this channel. Make sure you hit that bell notification. And if you subscribe to the Big Back Block Chronicles, and if you subscribe to the Big Dice Chronicles, make sure at all times you are still subscribed. Now, I'm hearing information about people telling me, quote unquote, that their subscriptions was being bumped. And I can't do that. I cannot do that. I cannot bump your subscription. I can stop subscribing to somebody that I follow on YouTube, but I cannot push your subscription out of my entourage, out of my catalog. If I could do that, it would have been so many people that I know are subscribed to me. I'd have pushed them out and blocked them. But I got a good one tonight for us. I'm going to see if a few more people pop up in the building. I got a good one for us tonight. I got a matter of fact, I think I got a great one for us tonight. I really think I got a great one for us tonight. I really do. I really think, quote unquote, I got a great one for us tonight. If y'all agree, talk to me about it. Because number one, what we're going to talk about tonight is Brooklyn. Well, we're going to talk about Brooklyn, and we're going to talk about what else? We're going to talk about the projects. I want to talk about the projects. I want to talk about the projects. I want to make sure I talk about the projects tonight. The reason why I want to talk about the projects tonight, because I want to know if we was bamboozled. I want to know if they, quote unquote, did that to us just to do that to us. You know what I'm saying? I'm really starting to think, quote unquote, that the reason why they made the projects is somewhat like the same reason why they made us do science projects in school. The same reason why they made us do science projects in school. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? I'm starting to think the same thing. I'm starting to really think the same thing. Like when we was in science, when we went to school, they gave us science projects. A project is something that's done. A project is something that's done to see the outcome of it. To see the outcome of it. That's a fact. But this is what I'm starting to see. If you take the word science from in front of science project, if you take the word science from in front of science project, you're left with the word project. You're left with the word project, y'all. You're left with the word project, like right behind me. See this? You're left with the word projects right behind me. Now, if you think about it, if you really, really think about it, if you look at the Vibes, salute, beloved. Let me get you right. Vibes, you ain't been on this one. I got to get you right, Vibes. I got to get you right. I got to put the gun in your hand over here too, son. Got to make sure you clapping over here too, son. Got to make sure you clapping over here too, beloved. Word up. Got to make sure you clapping over here. You know what I'm saying? Let me make sure I got this shit. I got this shit. Yeah, you load it up, beloved. You see in the projects like they did with Good Times, just looking out of the window. You see how clean this looks? Do y'all really see how clean this looks? The projects. Affordable housing complexes. That's the educated word they give it. Affordable housing complex. Well, you know what affordable mean is where you can get a discount. If you ain't got that much money, you can be here. But I want to think about the bigger picture with the affordable housing complex. There are so many things with the housing complex that we have to think about because it's broke down into certain fractions. Pay attention. Out of 100% denomination, let's say, hypothetically speaking, 60% of the people in the projects are on public assistance, meaning welfare. Meaning in the eyes of the other people, they just there living and eating for free. Now, 60% is 40% left. Eliminate another 15% out of that 40%. And give that to the senior citizens. Right? You take the 15 off the 40, you got 25%. So you got 25% of the people that are living in the projects now with a fixed income. So you have people that's on, like they say, welfare, what they categorize that as, people being lazy. Then you got the 15% for the elderly. They need somewhere to stay too. They have to have them in the community. The elders have to have us rounded off and grouped off. Then you got 25% that they feel as though we're going to give you a better project, apartment, a better area because you're going to work every day. Just look at that whole analogy right there, how they already started confusion between us from them three aspects right there. Ron Borg said, What if projects were built to make all evil against one another by keeping everyone living in one area through the struggle? It's a fact. A project. Like you said, Ron Books, a fucking project. A project. Like when they gave us science projects. They didn't know what was going to happen. They gave us ideas. If you notice, before science projects came up, they gave us a list of certain things that we could do that we can turn in, meaning that we complied to what they asked of us. We gave them something that they could look at, they could explore, they could judge, they could be amazed by, and they could watch succeed or fail. A project, a science project. You've seen people when they put the planetarium in the 9 planets. Shit, you know how many people came through with the explosive volcano. These are science projects. These are projects that are created scientifically to see what happens when you put certain things together. This is what I'm saying about the projects. Hypothetically speaking, you know, it's no such thing as a bad opinion. This is an opinion pertaining to what the government wanted to do to see what and how we would live amongst each other. Come on, you know the jealousy on that. Think about that. 60% of the projects, hypothetically speaking, say they are living on welfare. Public assistance is taking care of everything. Do that make them less of individuals? Do that make them bad people? How about this? How about some of the people in the projects that's on welfare in Section 8 that feels as though that's part of their 40 acres and a mule that we are well deserved, that they're still debating about giving us right now? So first of all, if you're going to give me an apartment, somewhere to stay, and you're going to give me a fixed income and I only got to pay like $10, $11, why wouldn't I take advantage of that for the times that my family and my ancestors and their ancestors been totally disrespected and used and worked for free? Isn't that right? Isn't that suitable? Isn't that fair exchange and a robbery? Hank, salute, beloved. Isn't that fair exchange and a robbery? Then you got to think about the elders, that 15%. They need somewhere to stay. Every project, you know, they have something called a community senior watch. A host of older people that sit outside and they do what? They tell everything that's going on. But then also they have what? 25% of hard-working people. A lot of times when people are first coming to the projects, it's not like now. It's not like now. Originally, when the projects was made back in the days, my grandparents told me it was mostly predominantly Caucasian, Russian, Italian, and so forth. When they made the minorities come in, when the people started coming in groves from New York, from DC, Chicago, from the Carolinas, this is where they housed everyone because it was affordable income. You cannot get mad at nobody that isn't trying to save some money. See, this is all a project. This is a project to see, number one, how are we going to act? How are we going to live amongst each other? And what are we going to do? See, what I mean by what are we going to do? It's just like Section 8. It's just like public assistance. It's nothing wrong with Section 8. It's nothing wrong with public assistance, in my opinion. Only if you are using this for a stepping stool to help you catapult to a better position of life. But see, I'm not talking about better position of life because you get upgraded into a new apartment or a better home where you can live. I'm talking about upgraded in life where, number one, you are busting your ass and you are showing the people, yo, I want to work. I don't want my hands out. I want to work. I don't want my hands out. I want to work. I don't want my hands out. Yes, I do need some help. I'm a little fucked up. I do need some help. I'm a little fucked up, but I want to contribute something. I don't just want to be around being talked about, because this is what they're doing. I want you to pay attention to what I mean by the word project, something that is put together, something that is formulated to see the outcome. Am I making any sense? 60%, like I said, they're sitting there chilling, and the eyes of everybody else is they're lazy. 15% has to go to the elderly. 25%, they're going to section that off. You have to go work. We're not going to charge you so much money, but you're going to pay some money. You're going to pay a percentage of your annual income. We're not just going to let you live here for free. So that's the first thing that will make somebody upset. Hit the like button. That's the first thing that'll make somebody upset. What do you mean I have to go to work every day? I have to go take scrutiny. I have to go be told what to do for a paycheck. Why can't I keep my money? I don't care if I have to go to work. Even if I do go to work every day, you're living here for free. So why can't I keep my money? You know why? Because this is what they plan. This is what they plan to separate us and divide us. Because the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be envious of each other. Donnie Fly, I see you in the building. See, we're going to be envious of each other. And then when you see the hardworking people that's quote unquote going to work and they're getting a new television and a new furniture set, then you see the people on quote unquote public assistance because they too also are allowed a budget to live better, to get them some furniture. And then you see the elderly. See, you start arguing and beefing about things coming in and out of people's apartments, and you putting two and two together, and you're calculating things, and you're saying they don't have a job. How come they're living just as comfortable as I am? Hank said a lot of projects were actually made for white working class, but then there was an abundance of black working class. These same whites moved away. See, Hank just said what I said earlier. Very great point. Appreciate you, Hank. See, this is what it is. Peace and love. I salute. I see you in the building. Please hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We're going to pop this channel too. You still rocking with the best. But this is what y'all have to understand. When they started making these big companies, when they started making these big companies in these big factories, they had groves of people that left three places: the South, Chicago, and Los Angeles, and they migrated to the East Coast. It's just like the situation is going on right now in New York City with the immigrants that are being migrated to New York City and being housed in that hotel. It's the same thing. See, these buildings, they weren't being fully occupied. So the government said, hold up, this is what we're going to do. Since they're coming over here trying to get employment and they're trying to get jobs, we're going to give them the opportunity to have housing, affordable housing, and then they subsidize it by dividing the economic structure. And then they put the big fancy word on it, housing complex. Who don't want to live in a housing complex? Now they're calling them same housing complexes co-ops. Did y'all pay attention to that? Look at Starlight City. Starlight City went from a housing complex to a co-op. A lot of the housing complexes in the Brooklyn, New York are turning into what? Co-ops. If you go to Brownsville right now, right across the street from Brownsville Houses by Betsy Head Pool, there is co-ops. Can I get the like button, y'all? And then they made it more interesting. Look what they did. They put benches and they put little community activity playgrounds in the middle of our housing complexes for what? Allegedly for our children to be interested and not be bored. Nah, that wasn't for that. That was for them to keep more scrutiny on us and to be able to dictate overall our morale towards each other. For the people that don't understand what I just said, they just wanted to see how a bunch of motherfucking niggas with nothing was going to live together. They wanted to determine how long would it be before the envy, because the envy is what starts. Damn, I got to go to work every day. They don't got to go to work every day. There's some people that's so evil, they'll be like, so what? Them people are older. I don't give a fuck if they senior citizens. They need to be paying something. See, the envy turns into jealousy. This is when it gets real detriment. It turns into jealousy. This is when it gets real spicy. Now, because the homes are so nice and brand new, what we're doing now, we're letting our brothers, we're letting our sisters, we're letting our cousins, we're letting our uncles come move in. They ain't on the rent, they ain't on the lease. And then we got the people in our building that are knowing these people are now living in a home that our tax money, this is what they say, our tax money is paying for that apartment. Now they're really getting jealous. You see what Peace and Love said? As of right now, a lot of projects are being sold to private companies. Buildings are being renovated and the rent is higher. Gentrification. Y'all wake up and get y'all houses because the rent is y'all pay is mortgage elsewhere. That's what I tell people about coming to North Carolina. Number one, what y'all paying for a one-bedroom apartment, $1,600 and $1,700, that's two mortgages in North Carolina. That's a double mortgage. That's a quick flip on buying a house. They're mortgages for $600 and $700. They're fixed rates right now for first-time home buyers all over North Carolina. But let's get a little deeper about it. Of course, there's going to be relationships. Of course, there's going to be what? Babies created, because this is a project. This is a project. They're going to put the power and the law of attraction right in front of each other's faces. If you got a good job, you know you're going to try to keep yourself appealing. If you're sitting up and you hustling in the projects, because you know a lot of the people that they say quote unquote were on public assistance, they had to find a motherfucking way. This is where the heroin, the crack, the cocaine, the card games, the homemade meals, because you know there's always somebody in the projects that's selling plates. Am I telling the truth, y'all? You can always go to the projects. There's somebody selling a plate. Could you do me a favor? It's 10 in the building. Let me get 10 likes at least. Can I at least get 10 likes? We need 5 more likes. I'm not going to switch up the content. We still on content. I'm still on my thing. I don't know about what nobody else doing, but this is what I'm doing. See, this is the Back Block Chronicles. Y'all forgot I had this channel in the motherfucking cut. That's why I tell you to hit your bell notification on both of these channels. And I want you to tell a friend and tell a friend. You know I got damn near 1,300 subscribers on the Big Dice Chronicles. If I got 1,300 subscribers on the Big Dice Chronicles, I should be monetized over here this week. Matter of fact, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get the monetization. I'm talking about 90 days monetization. That's ignorance. That's foolishness. I'm already monetized on the Big Dice Chronicles. Why would it take me 90 days to be monetized over here, Ron? That don't even make no sense. Yo, everybody share this live right now. Share it on your Instagram. Tell a friend and tell a friend. This is where Big Dice at when you can't find them. You heard me? And my intro's over here. I'm responsible for them too. So all the people, I'm about to make me a shot. I'm about to take a shot for the Dread El Compa, y'all. Y'all go ahead and roll up, and I'm going to roll up. We're going to get into this work. Roll up a little shot. Give me some Hennessy, some brown water. That brown water make you get into somebody's daughter. Can you dig it? I'm still over here doing the most illest intros and all that. And I'm going to give y'all some time to roll up and check one of my intros right now. Let's get into it, y'all.
DJ, sus one.
As move it on, Alpha Man.
was very talented.
Shut up.
And I think that we should combine with him. Garcia will help us shine.
Federal threat lights, drag race limo lands through red lights. Mad faces become slash faces pulling gas stations. Money clips filled with Franklins, money green Wally stinking. Crackheads washing my windows, I'm rolling Indo. Plus rolling Indo, it never Indo. Bitches in the ride playing Nintendo. Internet inside the headrest. I used to be possessed by stress, now I'm in the text. Why you still frontin' with Intertext? Getting bent off your whiz welfare check. Petty burglar, confetti herbia. You ain't a player, you's a car thief. Yellow teeth, shit breath, paper chasing. In this race, niggas like you will get left. Facing death, your last breath was on a project step. Half step, niggas sleep, I never slept. Shit is deep, quiet is kept. Niggas speak, trying to test my click thick like lining in your vest. Peep the Wild West, style I finesse. Mad laws like to profess, I don't fess. Mad guards like the tribe of Koresh. You can't do me wrong, guard right rhymes in cuneiform. Why you blind niggas mistake the sun for the moon? 500,000, shine like Saw, blow like arms, so controller of the universe. Arm, leg, arm, head. Bomb your progress, I progress on a conquest. Who want test Elliot Ness? I blow spots like David Koresh. My young thuns rock flavors of Gus and bust big guns. Calico spitting out of black hoopers with V12 engines. P.O.L.O. suit, new Air Jordans, ice rain change. Much loot, never caught in the truth. Trapped in the square, atmosphere, pretty thug in your club. If you shit whack, we pull the plug. If you act fat, we crack the style bottles over your head. Whip your ass like you spoke to the feds. You wet though, Petro, Heckle and Jekyll. My tech blow, gun clap, niggas feet tap like step shows. I flex low, in the expo, on the phone with Esco. Firm lounge with a cess grow. Burn towns down, AZ collect dough. Round the world espresso, $500,000. Gold cup, fresh glow. Bitches go nuts when we roll up. We don't front, we rolled up. We pulling off, bitches screaming out, please hold up. These roll up, trees blown up. We got warrants for all the MCs blown up. Cop sergeants hard as hard and Jake's ease on up. Partners while we get these G's on up. It's the gardeners that makes us marvelous. To break us is harder cuz some iller shit done started up. 500,000 dicks hard enough to keep your bitch click charged up. She lick dick to the guard bus. Player bitches big cards up. Stunts fuck on conference, Versace pumps. She know Foxy, nature Captain Cuban Rocky. Shooting by me in the flyby with two mommies. Thumping Mary, you remind me. Then my man behind me in the 5B. Drive beside me, told my thumb pardon me. Peace God, how will I be?
You know, that's enough. Enough said. Greed, lust, hate, and envy will destroy us. 500,000 will be our speaker. Enough said.
Y'all recognize who does this? I am Sharon McLeod's son. Shout out to my man, my brother, 2 Chronicles, for putting me together with my intros and my backgrounds and all that. Did you understand what I said? Do you understand the movies I put together, y'all? Hit that like button, man. Donnie said, yo, I just peeped this was the backup page. Come on, Donnie, you ain't been paying attention. Dunbars is in the building. See, y'all, yo, Dunbars, I was writing last night, Dunbars. I'm about to do the mixtape, Dunbars. Sitting back 3:30 in the morning, Sanford and Son on the television, thinking about the only worries I had was finding my Popeye cartridge for my Intellivision. Yo, chill, Dunbars. I'm about to kill him, son. Big Dice going back into the booth. Shout out to my nigga Jaffe, y'all. Did you hear what I said, Dun? Did you hear what I said, Dun? 3 o'clock in the morning, sitting up, Sanford and Son on the television, thinking about when I ain't have nothing to worry about except what my Popeye cartridge was for my Intellivision. Y'all niggas is crazy if y'all think y'all fucking with Sharon McLeod's son. Come on, man. Come on, man. Yo, Dun, I'm writing. I done picked my pen back up. Jaffe told me to pick the pen back up and give him 16 bars, Ron Buggs. Yo, Ron Buggs, Jaffe told me to pick the pen back up and give him 16 bars, y'all. Yo, Ron Buggs, you know what I told them niggas one time? I grew up admiring crooks. Nah, I ain't gonna give it to him, done. I ain't gonna give it to him. We ain't gonna do that to him tonight. My brother-in-law felt the type of way when I got back $13,000 on my taxes. I take care of 5 kids, so we got the money for each kid. I had 2 jobs the whole time. He was hating. You know why you got back $13,000? Because you was busting your ass. You was applying the 3 Ds in this world that I tell anybody if you want to win, there's 3 Ds you have in this world. You can put it in any position. It's called discipline, dedication, and determination. Determination, dedication, and discipline. Either way you want to do it, it can fall in order. Word up. Dunbar said the world needs to hear it. Like I told him, I grew up admiring the drug dealers of Utica Avenue. Admiring household crooks. But I also read books by Donald Goines. My grandparents, my grandfather and my uncle got money, but the first drug dealers that inspired me to get money was the Super Mario Brothers. Ask me why, y'all. I grew up in my house admiring crooks, and I read books by Donald Goines, but the first people that inspired me to selling drugs was the Super Mario Brothers. Ask me why, y'all. Because I watched them niggas break down bricks to coins. You heard what I said to them, Ron? Remember Super Mario Brothers? Used to watch them break down bricks. Every time they hit a brick, money came out. I watched them break down bricks to coins. Ron, did you hear what I said to them niggas, Ron? I told them I was schooled by OGs of the Ave, my uncle and my pops. One fell to the dice game, one fell to the crack game, one fell to the rock. They both said the game don't stop, but if you getting money, son, cop the house. Fuck the drop. Them niggas that get watched by the cops and they get pressed by the feds, going with baldies and come home with dreads. I listen to every motherfucking words the OG said. I was schooled by Ice Water, DMC, and my grandpa Fred. My uncle Freddie schooled me also. He showed me some rules. Told me if a nigga's trying to kill me, unload my tool. And to totally trust the dame, you's a fool. Unless the dame that you loving is the game, she'll shit on you too. These diamonds that was gave to me, I passed to my son. I hope he never hit the game, but if he do, he won't run. He'll be a black belt by 10. Marksman by 12. He ain't gonna never sit in a cell. I'ma always have bail. And if my foes ever get me, police ever hit me, you're doing me a favor because little dice gonna get 250. My mom's was crazy straight. So much ice was on her hands, so much ice was on her neck. You would have thought my mom's moved weight. I had divas all my life. Hoes ain't nothing. If it ain't about a cash flow, ho, I ain't nothing. I remember when I was dead broke. I really had nothing. I was just winking at them broads and they would just stop and start nothing. This is facts, y'all. Yeah, they wasn't listening to the rhymes. They thought I was joking. Cuban Connect down in Tibet, making $500,000 bets, hitting my peeps off with coke to bring the cash back correct. We down on Prospect when niggas rock Avies with text. Remember the Avirexes, Ron? They wasn't listening to what I was saying, Ron. City Bama salute. They wasn't listening to what I was saying, y'all. Cuban Connect down in Tibet, making $500,000 bets, hitting my peeps off with the coke to bring the cash back correct. Y'all niggas wasn't listening to me, man. They wasn't listening to me, Donnie Fly. I'm not lying. Like I told him, I ain't never want to be no rapper because the shit I say make the real niggas get excited. What happens after that done, bars? See, all the real niggas, y'all gonna get excited. But what happens after that done, bars? Fuck around. The feds hear that shit, a nigga get indicted. These is facts. Let's get back to this work about the projects, y'all. 12 in the building. Hit that like button, man. You're now rocking with the best. Ron Buggs, they don't know about the Averex store. Ron Buggs, they don't know about the Averex store down the block from Lord and Taylor's. They don't know about the Averex store down the block from Lord and Taylor's, Ron. Around the corner from the Banana Republic. The little boutiques. Them niggas don't know what it is about going down the block from Copeland's restaurant back in the days buying the Averex and the Pelly Pell jackets for $1,100 and $1,300. Ron, they not from our era, Ron. They are here. They here, Ron, but they wasn't there, Ron. See, that's why I had to catch myself. See, they here, Ron, like right now, but they wasn't there, Ron. Them niggas don't know what it is to go in Sally's and sit down and eat a motherfucking dinner. They don't know what it is to be up in Harlem and certain niggas go, yo, Dice, what up, baby? You don't know what it is to be from Brooklyn and niggas in Harlem acknowledging my motherfucking presence and vice versa. They wasn't there, Ron. They don't know what it is to be in a gambling spot on 139th in an abandoned building when nobody was living up in there. Everybody was smoking crack. When Herb McGruff and Big L and them niggas had the fucking gambling spot right around the corner from the park. They wasn't there, Ron. I was there when Big L, when Lamont was selling the 20s in the motherfucking coffins. I was there. I was there, Ron. They wasn't there. How could they talk to me about anything, Ron? They was not there. They weren't there. They can't even envision what we can talk about and joke about, Ron. You know why? Because they weren't there. Yo, Meek, I see you in the building, girl. Just like Meek. Meek was there. And she's a woman, y'all. I don't know if y'all be thinking that's a man. That's a woman. And she was there. Yo, Meek, you was there, but they wasn't there. They are here. Shout out to Jackie Robinson Projects. I think about it just like Albany Projects, Jackie Robinson Projects, Smurf Village Projects, Brevoort Projects, Lewis Projects, Fort Greene Projects, Gowanus Projects. Do y'all understand the word project is behind the first name? The first name, I want y'all to eliminate all the names. Eliminate Jackie Robinson, eliminate Smurf Village, eliminate Brevoort, eliminate Gowanus, eliminate Marcy, eliminate Tompkins, eliminate Albany, eliminate Kingsborough. Listen to the word project. Smash the like button. They said they wanted content. I can give you content all day, y'all. Y'all know this is what I do. Yo, who was fuck? Yo, let me ask you something. This is a trick question. But who was fucking with me when I was giving them 3 shows a day of straight content? Was anybody in here there? Yo, Ron Buggs, who was yo? Let me tell you something. Shout out to Chase Milano. Who was fucking with him, Ron? I was giving y'all 3 shows a day. The Big Dice, the early morning Big Dice show. Good Morning Vietnam. I was giving you a show at lunchtime, and I was giving you there. I was sometime. Who was there when I gave y'all 4 shows? Who was there when I gave y'all 4 shows a day? Ron, I was there. I was going to do a show, Ron, on Big L and Leak, God bless the dead, on both of them. I was going to do a show on that, Ron, because of the intricate relationship and the rapport I built with Lamont because of my friend David Cooper, but I decided not to do the show. I'm telling y'all right now, y'all need to go subscribe to quote unquote the Big Dice Chronicles personal members only page. Remember that shit, Ron? Everybody was killing me. Bang, 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 bang. See, the thing about YouTube that made me laugh so much, rest in peace to Sleep, Lee, man. See, this is why I don't even want to talk about that shit. Never mind. I ain't going to talk about that shit, Ron. We can talk about that shit behind the scenes. I know a lot of people, Ron. We can talk about that behind the scenes. See, certain conversations I tell people, see, a lot of niggas don't even know the motherfucking etiquette and the respect of the street. I could talk about anything I motherfucking want to. But see, sometimes when you talk about certain things, you have to think about the intricacies and the people that are still alive and how it arises, the same feelings and the hurt from when people were killed. I'm not doing that. But I know one thing. This is one thing I will say respectfully and honorably. If Lamont and motherfucking Lee would have been on the street together, Harlem would have had a fucking problem. Harlem would have had a problem. Harlem would have had a problem. I remember the first night I met Lamont, rest in peace. I was with my man Do Dirty. We was going to Latin Quarters. Never forget this shit. We stand at the fucking doorway in Latin Quarters because it was a Wu-Tang Clan party, and Papa Wu and them niggas, they was letting everybody from, it wasn't even everybody from Wu-Tang. It was Wu-Tang and this shit in the other group called the Wu Manchus. So they was letting everybody from the Wu-Tang and the Wu Manchus that was coming in because they had a personal section in Latin Quarters. I never forget this shit. I was standing at the doorway because they was letting everybody come in. The nigga Big L walked up. Lamont walked up. First time I met him. I didn't even know him and Do Dirty knew each other. That's how we built the rapport. That's how I started coming to Harlem getting hazed from the nigga. That nigga had on a Versace shirt, a pair of peach linen pants, some gaiters, a Kango, and he had a walking cane with him. That shit fucked me up, y'all. And the nigga had a mink jacket. That shit fucked me up. He gave my man Dave a motherfucking pound and all that bullshit. And he met me. He was like, what up? He gave me a pound. We was talking. He was like, yo, anybody ever told you look like Ghostface Killer? I swear to God, that's the first thing Lamont said to me. He said, yo, anybody told you, homie, you look like Ghostface Killer? He was like, why y'all waiting out here? And then Do Dirty was like, wow, we waiting for Father Wu or whatever to get everything situated with Wu-Tang. He was like, nah, come on, we good. And that nigga walked me in the motherfucking club. That nigga bought us some Hennessy and we talked in politics, started talking about the haze and all that shit. And I started coming back and forth to fuck with them niggas to get some motherfucking haze, man. Word up. They don't know nothing about no Latin Quarters. They don't know nothing about that shit, Meek. That was a motherfucking Dominican spot. That was like a Spanish spot. See, a lot of people don't know that. That was like a Spanish spot. That was like a Spanish club. But the shit just started getting overpowered certain nights, like Wednesdays, Saturdays, like black people was coming through, it was mingling. That was a Spanish spot. Latin Quarters was a Spanish. I'm lying, Ron. I'm lying, Meek. They wasn't there. I was there. That nigga told me, yo, anybody ever told you look like Ghostface Killer? I started laughing because it's two people in the world that people always tell me I look like. Y'all could agree with these people? You see what Meek said? Factual. See what Ron Bullock said? Facts. Niggas is lying. If y'all say y'all went to Latin Quarters and y'all ain't know that was a Spanish spot, y'all lying. You go up in there, them Spanish niggas will tear your ass the fuck up. There's a lot of cocaine being sold in that spot too. I seen some shit that I didn't see in that motherfucker. A lot of motherfucking cocaine was sold in that spot, man. You go up in there playing, them Spanish niggas will lay your ass the fuck down. But that shit was a beautiful spot, man. That shit was mad fun. It wasn't no beef, none of that shit. This is when niggas was outside. I don't know about now. That's why when I heard he got killed, the shit bothered me. Rest in peace. I said, oh, shit. Because anytime I hear that, if you go on YouTube and you type in a 7-minute freestyle by Jay-Z and motherfucking Big L, Lamont murdered him. I can't even call him Big L. That's how cool a nigga was. The nigga named Lamont. Because when he found my name was Damon, he said, Damont? I said, no, my name is Damon. He said, oh, shit, we got the same name. I was like, nah, your name Lamont. My name is Damon. Rest in peace to Big L. But back to these projects. That's just like Jackie Robinson. There were people in Jackie Robinson that had great jobs. Great jobs. There were people in Jackie Robinson that unfortunately fell to certain addictions, alcohol, drugs, depression, which catapults into mental illness. was catapulting to people just giving up on themselves, but they still good people. They still shouldn't be just thrown in the street. They still shouldn't be homeless. I think about some of the extreme conditions people in Jackie Robinson had to live with when it came to the infestation of rats. This shit is fucked up. Like, it seemed like every project, whether it's in New York, whether it's in Manhattan or Brooklyn or the Queens or the Bronx, every project has a problem with some problem. It has an infestation with something, whether it's roaches, whether it's rats, whether it's vomits. The elevators they smelled like urine. The hallways smelled like urine. See, this is the reason why they didn't care about us. These was projects. The reason why they did that is to see if we knew how to live like we had some sense. Who's gonna come in their own hallway and urinate in the hallway? Who is gonna come on an elevator that you have to ride every day to get to your floor in the projects and urinate on the elevator? See, this is what they did. They did social activity studies with us right in front of our faces. Y'all forget about when they used to do the census? Why do you think they did the census? When they used to come to us and ask us about how many people are living in your home. When they used to ask you about the conditions of your living area. See, some people ignore the census review. Don't ignore the census review. Some people ignore the census review. When they come to the house, they be like, I ain't fucking with them people. I ain't going to the door. No, talk to them people about the questions that you're asking you, because they're coming outside to visually inspect and interact with people that live in the neighborhoods about the conditions that need improvement. So if they're coming to your houses and saying, yo, can I talk to you about some of the living conditions and what's going wrong? And you say, nah, I don't feel like going through that bullshit. I'm tired. Fuck that bullshit. How do you think for any improvement or any change is ever going to occur? You have to talk to them about certain things like, yo, we need security. Especially at nighttime, we need security. We need security in the hallways. Do you notice when projects first were formulated and accumulated, it wasn't like that because it was an overpopulation of other ethnicity backgrounds, Russian, Italian, white. When we migrated from certain areas, Chicago, the South, Los Angeles, to the cities, this is when people, because of what? Some because of racial slurs, some because of reasons why they was fearful. See, a lot of people left out of fear, not because they hated black people, because they was fearful of us, because they didn't know our habitats and they didn't understand our culture. And because of things that were told to them and things that were displayed to them through television, the foolishness, the buffoonery, they were afraid to live with us, even converse with us and interact with us. Pay attention. So this was all a plot of what? Allegedly, the government. Because number one, they knew what they was going to do. They ran all them people that was living in these same project areas, and these projects were immaculate. They were immaculate. They said, they bet against us. They said, these niggas are going to fuck up. If you go to the top of the projects from an aerial view, if you put an aerial view up, a lot of the buildings in the projects look like the cylinders in a barrel of a gun. They're clutting us and stacking us on top of each other, and they're disguising it with giving us housing. They're categorizing it with subsidized housing, a big word for it ain't our fault that you ain't got the money to live somewhere better than this nigga. Subsidizing, meaning they're gonna what? Cram us into a conglomerate of structures and manipulate the space. See, the projects is actually the space In the South, that would be maybe 2 houses. But them 2 houses in the projects are what? Over 120 apartments. If you don't have enough money, if you don't have enough, like they say, self-control or opportunity to get your own home and your own mortgage, live how we allow you to live. First of all, it's not about ethnicity. It's about wealthy and the poor. In the projects, we have Caucasian, Black, Italian, Russian, Haitian. You name the ethnicity, it's in the projects. We all family, y'all. But you know why we not all family? Because they set it up to make it seem like you're better than me and I'm better than you and you don't like me and I don't like you. But in all actuality, it's not that we don't like each other. We don't like the circumstances that we're a product of. You remember that statement? Product of our environment, not product of my environment. That's when we're talking about an individual status. Oh, he's a product of his environment. Oh, she's a product of her environment. When we talk about a totality, we are a product of our environment, something that was formulated and calculated wickedly for us to destroy ourselves. You don't notice some people in the projects don't even like to let you know when they're getting something new? Don't you know they'd be like, yo, if you're going to deliver something, do it at night. You notice that when you go buy furniture? This is what old timers taught me. They said when you go buy, see, back in the days, this was before all this picking up in computer and internet and ordering and people. No, you had to go check out things you wanted, and there was people that dropped your shit off. But what you had the option to do was get yourself a U-Haul truck or someone with a truck or a van, and then you would move your furniture or television, whatever you bought from wherever you bought it from. Say if it was Abraham and Strauss or Macy's or Alexander's or wherever you're from. See, people didn't even want you to see what you were bringing in your apartments. They wait to 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. You don't notice people wait to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to move in and to move out? Can anybody tell me why they wait to 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning to move in or to move out? Let me see if y'all here with me. I don't want y'all just to be sitting there acting crazy. Show me that you're here with me. Why do people wait to 1, 2 o'clock in the morning to move in or move out? You know why? Because people are nosy and people are scared that what they're trying to bring into their homes, when they're not inside their homes, someone is going to be plotting and scheming to break in their home and take it. When your house get broken into in the projects, somebody on your floor or somebody in your building broke into your house. Even if the project, the material that you lost in your house may be going to another building. Oh, the person from another building may be keeping the project. That might be the outcome. But somebody in that motherfucking building that was in your home is who assisted them in breaking your house and holding your property in their home until the right time to move it to the person that really wanted your stuff. This is facts. You see what Meek said? Most people are asleep and you can't even peep their belongings. That's a fact. Best time to move is 2, 3 o'clock in the motherfucking morning. These is facts. They got us so fucked up. We're all in the same predicament. Some of us may be financially better by a couple of dollars, but we're so all in the same predicament. Every day we're thinking of a way to, quote unquote, disguise what little bit that we feel as though we don't want the world to know or get too jealous about us having. In the projects, this all breaks down to what I said, a project. Take off the word Gowanus. Take off the word Glenwood. Take off the word Farragut. Take off the word Fort Greene. Take off the word Jackie Robinson. Take off the word Brevoort. Take off the word Langston Hughes. Take off the word Howard. Take off the word Tilden. Take off the word Marcus Garvey. Just leave the word project in your head. A project, just like a science project, just like a human experimentation project, just like they did with the Tuskegee experiment. Remember that? That was another project they put together for us where they infected a lot of black people with syphilis. Another project. Are y'all with me? Another project. A project is something that's formulated and put together to see the outcome. To see the outcome of something that never's been done. That's all. That's all a project is. Like when these projects was made. Originally, them projects was made not for us. It was made for what? People that had good jobs, financial backgrounds. The projects back in the days was just as equivalent to brownstones in Queens before the migration of who? Us. See, the property value dropped drastically once our color came to these projects. See, the projects before we came were still projects. They were projects to see how what they feel as though in their eyes, good old-fashioned, hard-working people are going to interact with each other. And they proved themselves right in so many ways. When they had the projects, you didn't see a group of people standing outside 10, 11, 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, playing music loud, smoking weed, selling crack, fighting, arguing, disrespecting each other, disturbing everyone else's sleep, disregarding the fact that people may have to go to work the next morning or they just want to get a good night's sleep. They didn't do that when originally projects was made. See, they documented all this, y'all. Look it up. It was a beautiful place. Look at Good Times when it come on. When you see that whole description of that introduction of Good Times, ain't we lucky we got 'em. Watching the asphalt fall. I ain't seen no motherfucking garbage in them goddamn videos. Temporary layoff, good times, easy credit rip-off, good times, suffering and surviving, good times, hanging on the child line. You know why they were saying it was good times? Because no matter what, they still had somewhere to stay. It was just up to them to keep a certain amount of money to keep the apartment. That was a project also. That was a mental project that they put together on people. Like they said, temporary layoffs. Without the real education that they failed to give us in schools that they're now giving our babies. We didn't get the education that our babies are getting now. They're giving our babies tablets. They're giving our babies computers. They're giving our babies one-on-one tutors. And back in the days when we were younger and we needed assistance and we needed individuality when it came to tutors and comprehension, because some things were just too mind-boggling for some of those, they labeled it as retardation or being slow, and they put you in slower classes and threw you in a corner instead of taking the time to take some time to sit up with you and help you with your weaknesses. They just deemed you dumb and threw you in the fucking corner and said, this is special education. Remember that special ed? You see how they fucked us up? Special education. How you gonna tell a child you're not smart enough to be with the rest of the kids? You can't be in a class with 22, 33 children. You have to be in a class with 3 or 4 people and one teacher in a bathroom the size of a bathroom, because we feel as though y'all are not even important enough to be in a big room to feel comfortable. Do you see how they did some people? They did children like that grew up with this pain and this agony within their self, with this, how can I say it, this self-disappointment. Because they didn't take the time to spend time with us. Special education. What you mean special education? That was all part of a project. You see how they did that back in the days? What they do? If you're there at 6 o'clock in the morning, you can get breakfast. That was all part of a project. They wanted to see how many children would rush up in that school because parents weren't being parents. Remember the crack epidemic? Remember a lot of our parents and our friends and our aunts and uncles, they weren't caring about getting up in the morning, preparing breakfast for their children. They wasn't even caring about washing most of their children. Get your ass up and go to school. You better go get you something to eat because I'm not cooking shit. You'll be hungry all goddamn day. Remember that? I had friends that spoke to me about these things. This was all dictated. Remember that? All documented. This is all a project. This is when they walked around and asked kids, why are you here so early in the morning? Because my mother's home and she was drinking all night. Because my mother's home, she was smoking all crack. Because my mother's home and she got some man in the room locked with her. Or my father, I don't know where he been at. Oh, my aunt be beating me. Oh, they ain't even care. They locked. Look at all the things these babies, which turned into adults, had to go through because it was all a project. A project. The fucking project. That's all we are to them. A project. Something put together and formulated to see the outcome, to see if we can what? Act normal, as they say. When the other people was there, when the Italians, the whites, the predominantly Caucasian ethnicity was there wasn't no vulgarity. There wasn't no pissing in the hallways. There wasn't no rapings. There wasn't no drug dealings as far as not out in the open as far as vulgar. But when we came, we did that. We was in the hallways at night. We was standing in the hallways. People have to beg us and ask, excuse me, can I come by? Can I get through here? We were the ones that were standing there like we was right. They was wrong. Hard-working people trying to get home to their families, and we're treating them like they doing something wrong. We enslaved our communities with people being scared to death because, check this out, was we trying to put a hold on the neighborhood? Yes. You know why we was trying to put a hold on the neighborhood? Because of the unfortunate situations that we lived in, products of our environment. A lot of people was on crack. A lot of people was on heroin. A lot of people was addicted to alcohol. And then they gave it to us as the only opportunity for us to what? Take care of ourselves, because a lot of us didn't even have the what? Comprehension to go to school. A lot of us had parents that didn't even care that if we went to school, and after so many absences, they told us, well, you know what? You can't even come to school no more. You done missed too much. You got to wait till next year to start out. Imagine telling a baby you have to wait till next year to come to a building to learn how to be a baby, to learn how to grow as a child. This is all part of a project. They fucked us up. The projects. The projects. Every willing way that you can get money in the projects, there's a way to get, there's a mechanic in the project. There's a prostitute in the project. There's a big mama that's selling plates in the projects. There's a bootlegger in the projects. There's somebody selling cocaine in the projects. There's somebody selling marijuana in the projects. There's somebody selling pills in the projects. There's somebody selling guns in the projects. There's somebody snitching, telling information in the projects, and so forth and so forth. Anything you want to get in the PJs, in the P's, you can get. Look at the depiction Eddie Murphy gave y'all in the show he did called The PJs. Look at how he described the ghetto. You have a West Indian lady. You have an old woman that's very opinionated. You have a Hispanic guy. You got a dude that smoked too much that talks to a larynx. You got a school teacher. You have a young child that's suffering from obesity. His best friend is intelligent, but standing out and being teased because of his head. You have a landlord that lives in the basement with his wife, And he feels as though he's the most important thing in the projects because he's living rent-free because of what he feels as though is his accolades. He knows how to do plumbing. He knows electrical skills. So he looks down on everybody while they look down on him because he fails to realize if he really was about that motherfucking bag and they really cared about him, they would have him housed somewhere totally different. He would still be on call, but he would be somewhere in a totally different and peaceful atmosphere, meaning neighborhood. These is facts. But you couldn't tell him nothing. You couldn't tell him nothing. You can't tell nobody nothing when they grown. Shit, you see how little babies be acting once they learn how to walk? You can't tell a child nothing when they get inside. Let a baby get out that motherfucking walker. You can't tell. Get your hands up off me. They don't care if they fall. They want to get up by themselves. Once a baby learn how to walk, you can't tell that baby nothing. So imagine trying to tell somebody of legal age, 21, 25 years old, what to do. It's all a project. How we live. It's an even project of how we eat. Look how they put certain franchise fast food restaurants in our neighborhoods. Pay attention to that. McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, Arby's, White Castles, Church's Chicken, Wingstop, Domino's Pizza, Papa John's. Then they made it more convenient. Uber Eats. These are all projects. When Uber first came out, Uber was a project to see if people would what? Contribute to paying more to Uber instead of dealing with taxi cabs. Uber is just a sophisticated cab. Then they came out with Uber Eats. Well, fuck that. Motherfuckers jumping on goddamn rides. Let's see if motherfuckers use these cars just to bring them some hot food. Uber Eats is taking off too. They had delivery back in the days. Look how they're programming us to be more and more subject to what they're instructing us to do and how they're instructing us to live. They're instructing us to sit in one space to be monitored. They don't even want us doing certain things like going to the store to get something to eat. They don't remember back in the days you had to go to the Chinese restaurant. Now the Chinese restaurant is delivering. They don't even want you walking to the Chinese restaurant. But what they do want you doing is sitting in front of that computer. What they do want you doing is sitting in front of that fucking computer. And what they do want you doing is sitting in front of that computer. Meaning, as long as you're on social media, as long as you're on the internet, as long as you're on Instagram, as long as you're on YouTube, and you're documenting and dictating everything that you're doing simultaneously, it's very, very easy to do what? Duplicate your pattern. Copy the way you are. This is how people are getting cloned, allegedly. Because patterns don't change. If you're a piece of shit, you're a fucking piece of shit. I dropped the link if anybody want to pull up and talk about it. Can you think about any other projects that they put right in our face? They bamboozled us. Can you think about any other projects? Can you think about any other projects they put right in front of our face and bamboozled us? It's all the word project is what we're looking at. That's what I want you to look at, the word project. That's a fact, the word project. Like another project they gave us. Y'all ready for this one? They told certain people back in the days, they told certain women back in the days, the minute that you find out you're pregnant, this is what they tell women. The minute that you find out you're pregnant, the minute that you find out you're conceiving life inside of your stomach and your belly, you're eligible for housing. You're eligible for housing. You're eligible for housing. You're eligible for housing. You're eligible for somewhere to stay. And we got something for you right now. If you're telling me that you're homeless, we have shelters all over that you can move into immediately. See, this is how they fucked us up. This is another project they gave us right in front of our eyes, and they bamboozled us. Hit that like button. Let me check these like buttons to see if y'all rocking with the best. Because if y'all ain't rocking with me, I cut this shit off. Oh, yeah, we rocking and rolling like something was stolen. They said, we got shelter for you, but your man can't come. Some women was like, what you mean? I'm not going nowhere without my baby's father. I'm not going nowhere without my man. See, this was another project that they conjured up. They wanted to see the solidarity This wasn't about a woman. This wasn't about a man. This was about a unit. They wanted to see the strength and the security and the bond between two people, how strong it was. Number one, let's see if they really gonna die for each other and ride for each other. They having a baby together. They're homeless. She needs somewhere to go. He needs someone to go. Let's tell her we got a home for you and that baby, but he can't go. Let's see if she says, if he don't go, I don't go. Do you know how many women said, I'm gone? Then they gave you a curveball. They said, you know what? We do have some situations that we can make some exceptions, but terms of the agreement is if he has a felony, he cannot come. If he will not submit all of his information pertaining to his income and how he takes care of himself, he cannot come. These are choices that people had to make. You know how many women had baby fathers that was on the run? Do you know how many women had baby fathers that did not believe in sharing their information or their personal identification, such as their social security card, with agencies in the fear of something happening to them, meaning their identity being cloned or something being built upon them? Do you know that right there was another one? I'm not giving them niggas my motherfucking information. Fuck them niggas. Am I lying? I'm not giving them niggas my information. So check this out. Then they fucked us up again because this is how the project got deeper. They said, well, you know what we gonna do? Some of the women is gonna say, you know what I'm gonna do? Don't worry about it, baby. When I get the apartment, we'll be all right. Then we'll get back together. We'll still be all right. And then some niggas, because they say, yeah, you know what? They fucked up. They're not financially in a position right now to give them housing. Because of that baby and their genuine love for them, they say, you go ahead, baby, up into that spot. It's all right. I'll wait on you. Do you know what that does to a man, knowing that he feels as though who he loved don't love him? She chose that. See, a real nigga want to know you're going to be in the street with him homeless. Even though he don't want you in the street homeless, he want to know you will be right next to him in the street homeless, y'all. The best part about being homeless with a motherfucker, I'd rather be with a motherfucker in the street homeless that I know love me with all their heart than be living up in some mansion with a motherfucker that despise me. I'm totally different, y'all. I'm totally different. Projects. It all comes back to project, something that they create to see the outcome from. And then they come out and they give you another one. They give you a brand new apartment. They give you a brand new house. And they say, if we find out that man is in this house, you know you lose your Section 8 voucher, meaning you will not have no way financially, supportively from the government for you and your child. See the topsy-turvy in that? They don't know. This is another thing. See, people wondered why a lot of people broke up. They didn't break up because they was going through nothing. They broke up because of fear. See, they broke up because of fear. See, a lot of women chose the motherfucking security of the government in Section 8 over their man, not because they was worried about their man leaving them. No, they chose security, meaning they chose gangsters, meaning one day he might go to jail. One day he might get killed. One day he might not have a job. One day he might not have $1 in his pocket. One day he might not be able to pay the whole rent. See, these are things that women took the side of security over love, and then this turned them bitter. This turned them bitter. This turned a bunch of relationships bitter, men and women. Now you're arguing over the phone. So what you mean? I can't come to the crib now because these niggas, because you on Section 8, I'm coming over, I'm dropping the key. Nah, I can't do that. I can't be out in the street. Me and my baby ain't got nowhere to go. My moms ain't letting me come back to the house. You don't got nowhere for us. No, I'm not doing that. Overlooking the fact that he homeless. He don't want to go back to his mother's house. He got that quote unquote pride within his heart. You're going to make me go sleep on my mom's couch? And you said we in love. You said it was supposed to be us against the world. And all you have to do is open the door. See, these are things that did what? Divided us more. These are things that divided us more. You know, when it comes to something that's bothering you, I don't know about women, but men, we're going to ask you the same question. Like, you really not going to let me come see you because now you have this crib? Like, you forgot about when we used to be on the bike going to White Castle? You forgot about when we was playing handball? You forgot you was my partner for years since we was in public school in spades when we grew up? You forgot how much we loved each other when we found out we was having a baby? You really going to do this to me for the government? See, we're not paying attention as men. We don't understand because of insecurities that we have set in their hearts because we have not did the same conviction we did to trying to convince them to open the door. We didn't do that when it came to going to get a job. I'm not talking about a hustle. I'm talking about a job. Just like we can sit up and beg you and talk to you for hours and convince you how the best thing for us to do is let you in, we can go get a motherfucking shirt, a tie, a pair of slacks, a fucking haircut, some cologne, and we can do our motherfucking best and our due diligence to convince an employer that I am the best person for a candidate for you to employ. And then I can show you that I'm doing everything in my betterment for us. See, it's easy to get money in the street, but it's hard to get money at a job. I'm about to shut it down, but I want y'all to think about the word project from now on. When you go to work, think about the assignment that your boss is giving you. It's all right to speak up about an assignment that might be detriment to your job or your employment. Sometimes there are people that are so envious about you, people in higher positions that are talking to them about you because of the glow that's on you. And the people that they're talking to you about you are so insecure, they will give you certain tasks and certain job descriptions out of the blue just for you to fail. It's no problem with you to ultimately, respectfully open your mouth and advocate things like, is this my part of my job description? Is there some reason why I have to do this today? Did someone not come to work? See, you have the right to say things like, well, I'm not comfortable like that in this particular job, in this particular area. I'm not comfortable with this particular assignment because I wasn't properly trained. There are ways to communicate. See, people are setting up projects. They're setting up, conjuring up things to see the outcome. Same thing, like plotting. See, they want to say things to you to ignite you, to make you get infuriated to the fact that you may want to say something to them disrespectful Or you may get so arranged, like, why the fuck you talking to me about doing something that I ain't never been doing? That ain't my job, pussy. You do that shit. So now they have the right to take you to human resources. Instead of you just sitting up saying, respectfully, I'm not really feeling too comfortable about this actual position right here or running this actual machine because I wasn't properly trained. And due to the handbook, certain machinery or certain jobs, especially pertaining to job title, you have to be instructed by a person that did this job at least for 6 months to a year, that's full, acknowledgeable of all components and in and outs, that can show me and then back up and watch me demonstrate everything that they showed me. I have to show them that I picked up everything they taught me before you can even give me such a obligation, because employers and supervisors and crew leaders, because of your glow, will set you up for failure. It's all a project. I love you all. We're rocking out on the Back Block Chronicles for a few days. Tell a friend to tell a friend. This is the only motherfucking way we can win. Let's get back to this contact. Let's go.
Sucker on the